Hello, House of Metamorphosis Tribe. Welcome back to the channel where we're transforming hairdressers from the inside out. Today, I just wanted to have a little conversation about what it looks like working with me one-to-one. And the reason why I wanted to share this with you all today is because I work in the field of transformation. Now, let me explain what that means. When you work with me, yes, I'm a therapist, and yes, I've got all of these qualifications behind me and whatnot, and all these skills and tools behind me. But most importantly, I've actually integrated over my 25 years of being in this field outside of hairdressing, and that also is integrated into my work. And I've created a unique blueprint that I work with, and that focuses on transforming people literally from the inside out. And what that is about, and the reason why my tagline is transforming hairdressers from the inside out. And again, I just wanted to say, this is not just for hairdressers. This is for anybody that is listening to this and wants to meet themselves, really is tired of being dragged around in the world, like going, oh, I'm going to follow this trend and I'm going to follow this trend and I'm going to be this person and I'm going to be that person for now, and never really feeling satisfied with the life and the life paths that they've chosen to live in. And they're constantly changing their mindset. And that can happen too in the action taking of meeting your authentic self. But what happens when you're in your authenticity is more about, here I am anchored in myself. I know who I am. I know what my beliefs and my values are. I know what I stand for. I am anchored. I am grounded in myself. Nothing in the outside world can rock my boat. Now, if a curiosity comes up in terms of the outside world presenting to me and going, hey, this shows up, and you're like, your whole body actually responds and goes, oh my God, that seems so interesting. I'm fascinated by that. I want to explore that. That's actually coming from an internal, authentic connection with you, from your inside, your internal landscape to your external environment. And there is a chemistry that's going on. There's a resonance that's going on. Your inner self is acknowledging and recognizing its interest in whatever is showing up in your external world for exploration. But when you're mindlessly just falling into fashion and into trends and into social groups and peers, and they're doing this and this haircut's in and that kind of clothing's not, and you're just following suit and you don't have any inner authority in charge of the decisions that you're making, and you kind of get dragged. That's why it's sort of like, it's the only metaphor I can, it's like being dragged through things, and then you wake up on the other side and go, oh God, that wasn't me at all. I don't know why I went down that path. This is what I'm talking about. So when you work with me, what we do is, the most important part of my work is that we build your foundations, your blueprint from the base up. It's like building a house. We have solid pour, a concrete slab that we pour. And the tools that I use there are actually based on your birth chart. I really work with your birth chart, and that is the first tool that we work with. Every single person is born with a birth chart. And in that birth chart, it actually gives you the roadmap to who you are authentically. It's all there. What we do, based on the way that you've been raised and your influences and your environments that you've experienced, it actually takes your natural blueprint and it starts opening you up to other attributes and characteristics of you where you're exploring them. And this is where I come in. So based on the blueprint, we start looking at you, me being the therapist, looking at you and how you've developed in the world, and then how that resonance between your blueprint and your foundation and your personality, your being, your identity in the world is going to integrate and become your authentic presentation. And it's all unique. Why I love doing this work is because I've never worked with one person and another person, it's been the same journey. Every single journey that I've gone on with the transformation process with clients is completely unique and authentic. So this is what surprises me sometimes about the world, because, we're in a time where there's so many people that dress and look the same. And what blows my mind is that I know that that can't be possible. Even if you've got like-minded attributes, you still will reflect yourself authentically in a very unique way if you're in your authenticity. And I think that this is most vital for our hairdressing industry. And the reason why I say this is because hairdressers are creators of transformation for their clients. You focus on transformation with your clients. So if you're not in your authenticity, if you're not embraced in and anchored in your complete authenticity and your colors, your characteristics, your colors, your uniqueness, what makes you, if you're not embraced and integrated and informed and embodied in all that you are, you tend to sort of lack. You will fall into creating fashion instead of actually really listening to the authenticity of the client that's sitting in front of you. And the reason why I'm bringing this in is because that's where I believe the future of our industry is going, where people are going to be really yearning to find themselves in order to have their own voice. And I'm seeing this in the younger generation right now. They're really in their power of owning who they are, and they're not interested in trends and fashion. And these are the people that I see around me and I've worked with. They're very unique. So I see this as the new generation, the youth is coming up. I'm actually seeing this as becoming a progression, and I'm very excited about it, I have to say, is this unique, authentic, I suppose, movement that's happening around authenticity. So if you're a stylist and you're, even if you're not a stylist, you're just a human being that's having a human experience right now, and you feel lost and you feel like you want some guidance and direction into yourself, and working with me is not forever. Once we've captured your authenticity, you're done. You've actually take away a blueprint with me, your blueprint. And you might want to check in once in a while here and there, if you're going through a transition and another transformation, which happens right through rites of passage in our whole life. Like until we take our last breath, we are going through constant transformation, especially, pinnacle transformations through transition and into rites of passage, archetypal moments in our life where we are transitioning from one of the biggest ones I've just moved through is moving from, being in my 40s to going through menopause. And that is a massive rite of passage for women, moving through one to the other. And this is what I'm talking about as an example. If you're going through a rite of passage where you're really going through a death process, the hero's journey, a death process where you want guidance going through that journey to come out on the other side. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I hold space for in the most authentic way for you. And, stay tuned because I have a TA that's going to be offering this kind of work also in Melbourne. So I'm very excited about this work actually growing and it becoming accessible, not through me, but through other people as well. So this is what Evolve is about. This is what, becoming a TA is about. It's like taking this work that I am doing here and like passing it on and allowing this movement to grow so that hairdressers and people are really starting to embrace their authenticity and their truth. And this is what working with me is about. It's about coming into who you are. It takes courage, and it takes curiosity and fascination and play and an open mind to explore who it is that you really are. But I tell you what, on the other side of finding that is absolute bliss and freedom, guys. Absolute bliss and freedom, because everything else is an adventure beyond that. Because you found yourself, and then you can actually follow the path that you have come here with, your blueprint, your birth chart, you have come here with, and follow that path and really experience what being blissed out really feels like, because that's what blissed out is being on your path and being on your authentic journey. Yeah, and I'm really excited to meet you. And if this feels resonant for you, if this feels aligned for you, please go to thehouseofmetamorphosis.au/mentoring and book a discovery call with me. Well, let's have a chat and let's see if you're aligned to do this work with me and where you are on your journey of self-discovery and how I can best support you. Beyond that, please, if you've loved this content, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that it may grow and other people may receive this information and be inspired by it. Beyond that, I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your presence watching this video to the end, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next one. Bye for now.